This is MZ Presents. Hello everyone and welcome back to MZ Presents. Today on the show we have FFLLC. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So your name is Jimmy, right?
Yeah, that's my nickname.
Yeah, so you're over in the States at the moment in Chicago. How's everything over there? Is it well?
It's good. It's good for me at least because I'm still able to go to work every day. I can get out of I have to get out of the house because I'm an essential worker. So I'm still interacting with people every day. The like social isolation I haven't really been a victim of.
Yeah, and I'm glad everything's so well over there. That's really good to hear. So yeah, today we're going to be asking you some questions about your career in music as you as a producer. So you produce vaporwave, synth pop sort of style music? Yeah.
The vaporwave is almost more of like a kind of like a tag because I haven't really used any I don't really like working with samples because I'm not very good at it. Like I've always been. I'm really not good at like arranging a song out of just samples like that. It's like not how I like started making music, and I'm too old to learn it at this point. I can do like minimal work with samples, but I tried to make it as like vaporwavy as possible.
Yeah. I've listened to your new album. It's great. Luxury External, is that the one? Eternal, sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, it's wicked. I really love that. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. First question for today. How and when did you first get into music? How has this influenced the music you currently produce?
Oh, ever since I was like a little kid, my parents would play music in the house constantly. It was like everything, we would make fun of my dad for like playing like jazz singers in the house, and now I listen to like a ton of jazz singers. We would put on like the boy bands from back then, some of like a little older like Teddy Riley groups and stuff like that. And then I deviated and like listened to like harder rock, like metal stuff when I was like a teen. But then I went back to like all the shit that was like that I was calling corny, during that time. I was like, now I listen to like a ton of like jazz and all the stuff I would make fun of my dad for, Ever since I was little, I've been listening to it, I wasn't like an athletic kid, So my sisters were, so they put me in music lessons, which I hated. So I wouldn't practice or do any of that stuff, but I had all the instruments. Like I had a guitar and we had a piano in the house. And so like I wouldn't practice and I'd quit the lessons, but I'd still like I'd do it on my own, and that's always worked better. Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So you didn't enjoy the music lessons at first, but now you're a producer. Yeah, it's interesting. So when you first got into music, what were your styles you were sort of listening back then? So obviously you were listening to, more rock and roll or more metal, was you saying?
Yeah. And when I first like tried to write it though, it was all like acoustic guitar stuff, and like there's like no direction, I at least like I was like putting pen to paper, but there was no direction with it. And so I started playing drums around that time too, when I was a teenager, and I got decent at the drums. And so I just like put the guitars down for a while, and then like this whole time, like in the background, I've been like experimenting with synthesizers. Like I've had them, like I got like the Alesis Micron when I was like 13. That was like a great piece of gear, but it doesn't really teach you anything about like sound design. So you have to kind of go a little further with synths. Micron's good for like teaching you about sequencing though. I learned a lot about like laying down patterns on that piece of gear. And I still have that one too. I have like 12 or 13 keyboards in this house, you know, like, that I just are like either non-functional, like they don't work, or they need to be fixed.
Yeah, that's amazing though, right? Like you have all the you have loads of outboard gear I see on Instagram as well, which is really cool and interesting. You know, I wish I had that amount of outboard gear, to be honest. You know, but yeah,
it's all like just collected over time, you know. And it's like now it's finally to like where I kind of want it to be, like when I envisioned my setup. And I just the only thing I need is a speaker, because I'm using this like beat up old Fender bass amp that this guy I used to jam with gave me. And I was like I didn't pay for it, but it's got this like hiss. It's like this loud and like high end hiss that is just I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah, that must be so annoying.
I gotta get like a PA or something for it.
Wicked. Yeah, that could be your next investment then, I guess, for your music collection.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Nice
Nice one. So, who has influenced the music you currently produce then? So, is it more jazz artists, as you were saying earlier, or is it more like vaporwave artists?
It's like a little of both, because it's the sounds of like not the sound, but like almost the mood of like 80s new romantic.
Yeah.
You know all those like British groups from then, like Ultravox and Japan, and I was listening to all of that for years. You know, it's another thing I'd say call corny. You know, was like new romantic, and and it's like it's not even a genre. You know, like they don't recognize it as a genre.
Some of the best music though, I mean, all those synth pop artists and, you know, synth wave artists, you know, or new wave, shall I say, they're great, you know, they're some of my inspirations, and I don't really make that sort of music. I sort of tend to house music and more of electronic house music sort of thing. But yeah, no, they're definitely inspirational though, definitely.
Yeah, because I don't really listen to a lot of electronic music. Like that, like in that sense, you know?
Yeah, because obviously I know your music's electronic, you know? Yeah, but
like, as far as like,
club music, like, sort of.
Yeah. Or even like down tempo, like ambient, even like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's sort of like I'm kind of out of the loop on it. It's not that I don't like it. I just like don't really know. There's so much, and I don't really know where to. My ears are stuck in the past, you know. It's like it's hard to get them in the present day sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that, to be honest, because like I actually like sort of go back to the 90s house music. That's what I enjoy more than nowadays house music, you know, this current music. It just has the better feel to it. It's retro, and you know, it's all done on tape as well, most of it. So, you know, it's that feel of it. It's amazing.
I do like the some of the more modern Underworld records though.
Oh yeah.
I like Underworld a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of like that I like the repetitive stuff. I'm not sure what that would be called, you know?
Like techno.
Or it's just like yeah, I really like that too. That's gonna like what my next project is gonna like lean a little more towards.
Nice.
It's like an industrial kind of techno sound is what I want to do.
I look forward to hearing that. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. I look forward to pumping some of that out.
Next question. Has your music style differed across the years? If so, how? Like the music you produce?
Yeah, big time, I think, you know. Because I started with like trying to make rock music. I was in like a small, like very bad 2-piece band. When I was in college, we just tried to write songs, you know, and like I would try to record them, and our quality was like, it wasn't great, you know. I wasn't good at writing anything either. It didn't stick. Like nothing like no rock style we tried to do like stuck. And I just like kept doing that. Took like a very long break from making music, like a couple of years off. And then at some point I was like, I got back into like vaporwave again. Cause I remember I was into it when it was coming out. I was like late when I was in high school. like 2012 or something, and I just like started listening to it again, and like I had a couple like moments of like realization with it, where it's like a lot of it's like pop music almost, like the catchy parts. There's like structured the same way. It also comes from like I'm a huge fan of like John Mouse, and it's like certain things about the soundscapes of like John Mouse music and the soundscapes of vaporwave. It's like it creates a sort of mood that's like that I really like. That resonated with me, so I started making music like trying to do it like that. Yeah, and I started listening, like I started getting really into 18 Karat Affair as well, and he you realize that music's like that's not really vaporwave either, you know. That's what like kind of made it take off for me, you know, when you're like, this is all like hardware instrumentation powering this, you know. He's not working with like a whole lot of samples. There are some, you know, but it's not like the predominant theme of it.
Yeah, it's like his own music that he's, you know, making and producing. You know, it's nice to use samples, but as you say, originality is like amazing too.
For me, it's just because I couldn't work with samples, you know. I was like, no, I'm no good at it. You know.
Why do you think that? Is it just because like you can't find like perfect samples for your tracks, or is it just
I can find I've tried. I have like one thing that's on Bandcamp that's like a classical vaporwave album. It's like there's actually no original instrumentation on it, and I just don't think it turned out that great for me. Like whatever I was trying to do, like the sample selections per track were good enough, and then the flow of it didn't work. And like in like no track order I really tried, and I tried to like I remastered it too, and I tried to do a bunch of edits to it, and in my opinion, it still just doesn't even work that well. And it wasn't the first attempt I had with making like sample music. It was just like me trying again, and it's like for whatever reason I'm just like no good at cutting them, like no good at like EQing like a sample properly, you know. It's just like a whole bunch of stuff for me. I respect everyone heavily that is making music with samples though.
Yeah, maybe one day though, you'll never know, you know. You might learn something on YouTube, or you know, something could be you know, online that you might look at, or read an article about sample based music, and you might be just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make some sample based music now. Next question for today. When did you know you wanted to take music seriously and release your own music?
Probably when I was like 20. I'm 26 now, so it's when I was in college. Like when you're trying to do it as a group, it's like you don't think any one person in my case that like anyone has to give more than like 50%, you know. 50% effort. I felt like it was like the group, everyone's got to strive for this like 100% that they're putting out, and so each person's giving like 25, and it was like no one's like fully invested, you know. And it's like there's always a weak link. Yeah, I don't really even like collaborating with other people. It's except for my friend Young Chuck. Shouts out Young Chuck. He's my
yeah. Shout out. Shout out time.
I like doing that. That's always a good time. But otherwise, you know, it's not like I try not to make it like a regular thing, or like even semi-regular thing to collaborate with anyone. It's because then it feels like work to me. I don't like anything that feels like work as far as music goes, you know. Me
personally, I prefer like you to release my own music, you know, write my own music and then release it. The only thing I would probably get someone to do is master it. For me, I'm still learning about mastering at the moment, but yeah, that's probably the only thing. Yeah,
I would also I would like to outsource that part as well.
Yeah, because mastering is a tricky one to get my head around, and you know, I've always found it quite difficult to be like, yeah, you know, this is correct or this is wrong.
Yeah, because nothing really is, you know. Nothing's wrong. There's no wrong answer.
That's true.
so it's like hard to tell when you're done.
Exactly. And, like, that's the hardest bit.
I've heard that before too. Is like where it's like how do you finish like a project? You know, on a computer if it's like never done. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like you could like theoretically you could tweak the levels on some of these tracks like forever. You know, and never be done with it.
Yeah, it's very true. You can spend hours, days on it, months on it.
I put my foot down like a lot. Where it's like if it's not perfect, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
you know?
I've got to learn to do that.
Yeah, especially since it's like I'm on the computer doing most of like the editing, and it's like my problems before I think with making music was like everything was so quantized and like clipped perfectly, you know, down to like each and like I'd spend hours mixing with like 24 different tracks, you know. And now it's like on the computer, like a lot of these like songs I have are like maximum 6 tracks, like including like a vocal track, where it's like nothing's really consolidated either. So I keep it like very simple, and that's like that's helped me make music a lot, because when I was doing it before I was trying to be like a maximalist with it, you know.
Yeah, I found that as well. You've got to sort of keep your limit, especially when you're learning at the same time. I think once you become a bit more better at what you do, then maybe try and expand out, but don't try and take it all in one step and then just get bombarded with it. You know. Yeah,
I don't know if I mentioned this, but my favorite one of my favorite artists of all time is Yanni.
Okay, cool.
The new age artist. Yanni is Greek. I am of Greek ancestry. His music really resonates with me. And that's what I was trying to do on when I first got into like making electronic music, was making this like grand new age music, you know. And I was not good enough. Like I'm not even on Yanni's level. There's no way, you know. I'm like, so I was like trying to do like 6, like, well, I think I had one track that was like, where I peaked was like 60 something instruments on it.
Whoa.
That I was like trying to manage and mix, and then the MacBook crashed and I lost all the bit.
Oh god, when the MacBook crashes. yeah, that's not good.
I'm on I do everything on a PC now, actually.
Yeah, I use a PC as well. Yeah
I'm a proud Windows user, actually.
Fuck Apple.
Yeah, that's me. It's like I use it all day at work, you know.
Yeah.
Like I come home, it's familiar.
Exactly, and you can get better specs for like half the price of what you'd pay for like an Apple computer. You know?
I can tab away and start gaming right now, you know.
Wow, that's wicked.
And the sound card is like a lot better than my Mac was too, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I do prefer Windows.
Yeah.
So yeah, what music are you currently listening to at the moment?
Right now it's all sort of the same, you know, the same old music. Like swapping between those like new romantic groups. I've been really into I forgot what the label name is. I think it's like SPK 1000. It's like advertising music. KPM 1000. Sorry, KPM 1000. KPM 1000 was like an advertising record label that was like only for like commercials and stuff. It's really good, like smooth jazz. I listen to a lot of Spyro Gyra actually too. Another like kind of smooth jazz group. Been really into John Fox recently. As well as I just listened to a ton of stuff, but I got into podcasts this last month too. I don't really listen to podcasts, but I was like kind of bored of listening to music in the car every day. And I was like, someone needs to I gotta switch it up. You know?
Well, you can listen to some of our podcasts on the Low Shelf YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I'll be going back and listening.
Thank you, definitely. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because I was just off the podcast because every time I get in the car, I'd put on like an album, drive all the way to work, and then album on the way back. You know, and that's like that's my like listening time. And then after a while, you just like you run through like so much stuff, and there's only like nothing. There's nothing new coming your way, you know.
Our last question for today: if you could work with any producer, DJ, or musician in the world, who would they be and why?
That one, because it's
always stumps people.
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, there's a lot of there's like so many choices, you know.
Exactly.
I was trying to think about it too. So even since I'm not really a fan of like collaborating, that like doesn't make it that doesn't make it easier though, because there are still people that you'd want to I'm a huge Ariana Grande fan.
Oh really?
I would love to produce an Ariana track. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I would love to.
That really surprised me. I don't know why.
I covered part of her song on one of her songs on the new album actually. It's like track like 4 or 5. I did the pre-chorus of like Into You.
Okay, I'll have to go back and listen to that because I've probably like totally went over my head. But yeah, I'll go back and.
That's that was the point too. I was hoping people didn't really like pick up on it. I was like especially like yeah, because that there's that, and then there's one other moment that's that is like not me, you know. As like sort of like me worrying about what you're allowed to upload, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a sample of a prefab Sprout song that plays out at the end of like one other song.
Okay, I'll have to go back and listen to all this because you're giving me new things that you've put into these tracks, and they've probably just gone over my, head. But yeah, I'll go back and listen that out for those. Definitely.
Oh yeah. And then like within like vaporwave, I would say like either like 18 Karat Affair, you know.
Yeah.
'Cause he's given me like a lot of guidance.
Okay.
As far as like gear recommendations and stuff like that.
So do you have quite a lot of contact with him then?
Not too much, you know, but yeah, we speak on the DM line.
Oh, nice.
I met him at the Electronicon concert as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're he's like a, you know, like just sort of an enigma in the scene, you know. He just reminds
definitely.
me more of Ariel Pink or like John Mouse than he does like a vaporwave artist.
Yeah, I get that.
That's just interesting to me. And then and Luxury Eternal is Luxury Elite. I didn't do that on purpose. Luxury Elite's one of my favorite vaporwave artists as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
But yeah, most of the collaborations I do anyway is with the guy that does a lot of the visuals for me. My roommate cool. Paul. Yeah.
Nice.
So it's a lot of like me sending him tracks. He's got a visual coming up for it. So we're trying to do like do a live show.
Yeah.
Broadcast one. So it'd probably be something like we might not even. I don't even want to do it live because I figure we can record it, edit it, and like only like 5 people are gonna stream it. You know.
Yeah.
So if we like record it and edit it, and it could be like a standalone, like just a video, you know, that would be better.
That'd be cool. But if you do want to stream, I can send you the link to OBS and talk through some stuff if you want to end up streaming.
Yeah, we'll see, because I'm having him like he's looking into a lot of the like logistics of like how to get like the video there, and I've found a couple things with like preserving audio quality. We could easily do a live stream within the next 6 months or so, you know.
Wicked. Yeah, sounds amazing. I'll have to look out for that. And will that be posted on like Instagram, like all the promotion stuff?
Yeah, we've been talking about doing it for a while. Because we have like another like project together where it's kind of like a comedy thing that we do.
That's interesting.
So we're doing something for that in August, but I'm gonna have another project out by the end of the year, so that gives us like some time to work on the like a live show too.
That's brilliant.
Because usually I put something out every like 2 months, 3 or 4 months, you know, 4 months I guess. It's like every 4 months now. I'm gonna wait until the winter, I think.
Wicked. I look forward to hearing all of this. Sounds great.
Oh yeah. big things. Big talk, I guess.
Yeah,
we'll
definitely.
see if I do any of it.
Yeah, it gets to like winter and it's like, where is this? It's not even out. Yeah, but I mean, it's been great talking to you. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was really
great.
excited to get on here. Thank you so much for like inviting me. Like no one has ever asked to talk to me about my my music stuff.
Well, I hope more UK listeners listen out for your music, and in the description I'll drop all your music links so people can get to them as well.
Thanks. I really appreciate you.
Thank you to everyone who was listening to MC Presents today, and thank you so much to FFLLC, who was our interviewee for today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. And don't forget to follow Low Shelf on Instagram at @low_shelf, and you can check out us on YouTube at Low Shelf. Just type that in. And don't forget to follow Jimmy on Instagram at JCA_FFLLC. Thank you to everyone who's listening, and goodbye.